it's Danielle. I was just replying back to your video about the history of counseling. I really enjoyed hearing about the different theorists and mainly about Carl Rogers. I kind of went a different way with my post, and I chose more of an era that I thought was more important or least important in regards to the history of counseling. So I enjoyed hearing your beliefs and thoughts about the different pioneers of history. I went back through our textbook when you were describing Carl Rogers and just his different the different things that he brought to counseling. And in a counseling primer, an orientation to the profession, I was reading on page 41 about the development of counseling, and it made me think when I was reading through the influences in the 1940s regarding Carl Rogers, that he challenged the assumptions and theories of psychoanalysis, that he kind of went the opposite direction of the trait and the factor, as in, like, instead of just always believing that people inherently possess certain traits and therefore have certain characteristics or factors that will drive their ability to either make progress in counseling or not, that he wanted a more non-judgmental approach, and that he advocated for methods that were more personable. And so my question was, I wondered if there was a particular reason as to why he believed that, why he went kind of the opposite direction of the trait and factor theory, if there was a certain study that he did, or if he had collected data. I was curious as to see what provoked him to kind of go a more humanistic route. And then on page 76, when I was reading about Rogers, I too agreed that I think that as far as theorists that have kind of paved the way for the history of counseling, that reading about how he concurred that therapy in an environment of safety and mutual respect creates freedom for the counselor and the client to be themselves, and that client and counselor relationship is critical to making progress and being comfortable enough for a client to open up without being judged. And it's a very individual experience. Not one client is the same as another, and that a counselor should make everyone feel safe, and everyone's presenting problems just as important as another. So I agreed with you that he was definitely one of the most important theorists for the history of counseling, and I appreciated your video because it made me go back into the text and read more on Carl Rogers, and I will continue to delve deeper into research to find out more information about him. Thanks, Timothy.